for we are live for episode 59 of Depths of Gaming. He's Jaheath.
And he's Necro, and we welcome you to this underwater submarine that's flowing through the oceans of games. We take you to the very depths.
For better or worse. Especially if you've seen one of those memes that shows the little submarine going all the way down to the depths of the ocean, and it's terrifying. Because it's really, really deep. That's how deep our news is. Speaking of deep, much sad because one of the legends has passed away of the gaming world. We have legends that we know this because they're starting to go away.
Yes.
Total Biscuit. Mr. Bane, he also known as the Cynical Brit. He has passed. He struggled a long time against cancer, and unfortunately, that's something that it eventually you either beat it or it gets you. And
yeah, it's cancer is a bitch of a illness,
and we say beat it, but it's not like you just try hard. It's unfortunately far more complex, and
you do not get cured of cancer, right? You once you deal with the cancer, it's in the remission, and that's basically what Total Biscuit had. However, later on, it was discovered that the cancer came back, which it often does, and it attacked other organs. And unfortunately, after some fight, Total Biscuit passed away. A lot of people were saddened by it because he helps a lot of indie developers. He was a proponent of quality consumer culture, and he was all about the. He tried to make the gaming industry more focused on treating customers with quality.
Right.
However, some developers were such jackasses that, especially one Bioware developer, decided to say, "Hey, is it today's morning was a little bit better today. My day was a little bit brighter. Was it the shoes that I bought? No, Total Biscuit died. I shit ye not."
Oh, that's very disrespectful and very crude. Like, yeah, Total Biscuit made your life more difficult. Bah, wah, wah, wah. You need to be accountable for shit that you do. And and to be happy that someone died of cancer like that, that's quite rude. But moving on.
Mm-hmm. By the way, the ex-BioWare developer that did that was called David Crooks.
I think
how fun was that?
I've heard of him. Because I know that there are several developers that are on kind of the YouTuber hate list. So we can thank Europe for killing a bunch of old MMOs.
Yes, thank you very much. A lot of the MMOs died because
all the
European privacy laws.
all because of the European privacy laws. Killed off Mirage Arcane Warfare, which was a kind of brawler game where you're in a really small map and you have to use a melee combat system to kill people. It was quite satisfying, but unfortunately, just it would cost way too much to comply to the new laws.
Now, I don't necessarily agree with that fact that it costs too much because of those regulations. I dealt with those regulations. First of all, they announced those regulations like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
You had time to prepare. That's one thing. Second thing, all they do is actually reinforce, or rather enforce the common sense, which means if you're working with private data of your customers, only the people who are supposed to have access to it should have access to it. Only if you keep this data on a hard drive, it has to be encrypted behind a firewall, and you have to have an antivirus installed. If you have it printed out, it should be under lock and key. That's all it really says. So I do not buy the bullshit that, oh, that regulation is killing us, we have no money to support it. Bullshit.
Yeah, I think they're just using this as an excuse to kill off games that they don't want to pay for anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. That, or they were doing something shady underneath the table, and now they cannot no longer do it. Can no longer do it. Yeah, that's better.
Like, loadout was a failed idea from a while ago. The whole concept was, oh, you can customize your gun and fight the way you want to fight. But the game didn't really offer that many options. So there was kind of an obvious overpowered weapon, and it wasn't very fun. So that happened.
Yeah.
Dauntless is in open beta. It is a game where you cooperatively action RPG against monsters.
Yeah, there's this new genre of games that is actually kind of peeking over. The co-op game that you need. It's a co-op single-player game, I would say, because you need someone like on the couch to beat the game, which is kind of interesting. Hello?
I'm here.
Ah, there you are. Okay. I didn't hear anything.
No, I thought you were going to expand on that. Someone on the couch? Like...
God damn it.
This is a PC game.
Yeah, but there was this game with Prison Escape. What was it?
Do you mean A Way Out?
A Way Out, yes, precisely. It requires a second player, and
yeah, it's strictly 2-player. Army of Two was single player, but you were supposed to play it co-op.
Yeah. And now there's Dauntless.
Well, Dauntless is a open world MMO where you team up with your buddies and you fight monsters. At least I think it is.
Oh, so it's an MMO then?
I'm yes.
That's fun too.
And there's like a bunch of different weapons and objects, and there's founders pacts.
Is it free to play?
Yes. Wait. Maybe.
Ah, splendid.
Just $35 $35 and you get the supporter thing, but right now it's open beta, so everyone can play.
Oh, I see. I wonder what the monetizing campaign will be on that. Will it be monthly payments, one payment,
It's probably going to be
or micropayments?
micropayments. So that game looks cool. I'm probably going to play that later.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wargaming Seattle, aka Gas Powered Games, is closing.
Oh.
Wargaming, which is the company behind World of Tanks and Total War Arena, they've confirmed that they're getting rid of the studio formerly known as Gas Powered Games, which, to be fair, the founder jumped ship a while ago. They really just kind of had an office, and so they've basically fired 150 people.
Oh. It's always sad when so many people get the shaft, basically.
They do say that they'll give them priority in jobs elsewhere in Wargaming, so there's a good chance that about half of them are going to get their job back, which is going to be good. They have another 18 offices scattered around the world, so they'll be fine.
I bet they have an office for World of Tanks. They have an office for World of Battleships, World of Warplanes, and so on and so forth.
And on to answers that nobody wanted. We really sped run this guy today. So,
yeah, sadly, I think that's because of the Total Biscuit, because that kind of puts a downer on everything that goes.
Yeah, I know. How are you supposed to like make fun of news and such when, oh, by the way, someone important died?
Yeah, it's
that everyone respected because he was a really good guy.
Yeah, it's heavy.
It's really heavy.
Well, not everyone respected him, as we learned.
Yeah, as we've learned, there are some assholes that do not. They are drippy anuses. Magic items for a level 4 player. I'm running a game with 2 players, consisting of a Wood Elf Druid, and a Dwarf Barbarian using a Maul. I'm running them through a starting adventure that ends with them killing a criminal mastermind who has had multiple cities under his control. I'm thinking of giving them some magic items. I don't know what to give them. Any suggestions? Well, the DMG has several suggestions, but if you want to give people magic items, Xanathar's Guide has a bunch of magic items that don't really do anything, but they're magic items that do interesting things. Like,
yeah, I remember that in other versions of D&D there were massive amounts of magic items that were consumables. For example, the Thunder Stick, that was fun.
Oh, there's still a lot of those in the game, yeah.
Yeah, these are fun. Basically, you can give your players flashbangs and other stuff like that.
Yes.
These are very useful.
And so read through the DMG, read through Xanthar's. There's a lot of good magic items in there. And it also gives a guide of how many they think each player should have. So, of what rarity, so that you could use that as a general guideline. Guideline, yes.
Indeed. You can always make your own.
Or you can make your own and say, just, fuck you, balance, this is my world.
Yep.
That's their answer. So
Yeah.
that's our show.
We're sorry it's a little bit short for today, but yeah, as we said before, after a bummer like Total Biscuit, you can't really make fun and jump around with topics and go on tangents because you're not going to top something like that.
Someone died. 3-minute
Yeah.
show. Haha.
Thank you everyone for joining us today for this light version of Depths of Gaming.
Diet gaming.